Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how I'm laying out all of my articles for my display ads website. So that's my website where I'm trying to monetize every single article through display advertising. I follow a very specific template here because if the template is followed throughout all the articles in the site, then the ad placements from Ezoic will be uniform across the whole site, and it won't look awkward sometimes, the ads being in the wrong places on sites, and it comes across as a bad user experience. So the best thing I can do is to create a very uniform template for all of my articles. So I've created a sample article here. It's obviously written in lorem ipsum. It's just an example of how I lay out my blog posts. So after my title, I've got all of my paragraphs for my introduction. I try to keep those paragraphs nice and short, 3 lines long maximum, and then there'll be ad placements in between these paragraphs. As we go down, you can see the contents here. The contents is hidden so that I am moving as many ads further up the page as possible, because if it's shown, I'm taking up all this space that could be taken up with some ads that are a bit closer to the top of the page. As a general rule, the closer the ad is to the top of the page, the more money you're going to make, and especially above the fold. So when you've scrolled right to the top of the page, any ads that you can see, they are going to be the ones that make you the most money, which is one of the reasons why I don't have any images up here at the top of the page. Those images are taking up prime real estate that I could be making money from ads on. So I'll show you where I put the images later on. So scrolling down here, you'll see that again, I'm trying to keep nice and short paragraphs and even short bullet points. So if I'm having bullet points or list points here, I try to have only about 3 at a time, because Ezoic can't place the ads between the bullet points. It can only place them above or below. So I'm trying to make as much space as possible for Ezoic to place as many ads as possible. Now Ezoic's AI will find out where is the best ad placement. So I'm going to place as many ad placeholders as possible, and then Ezoic will decide, well, where is it that they can place ad placeholders that maximize my income, but also don't push users away from the site by giving them a bad user experience. As I scroll down, you can see it's just a whole lot of short paragraphs underneath all of my subheadings. And then at the conclusion here, we've got a image. The reason I put the image at the bottom here is because there's not much money being made from ads towards the bottom of the page, but I am getting the SEO benefits of having an image on the page with the keyword in the alt tags. So that's how I've got my layout for all of my blog posts, with the intention that I can just put in my ad placeholders for one of the blog posts, and then for all of the others, it'll just fill itself out really nice and cleanly. This blog post that I'm putting all the ad placeholders on is the longest one. So I've just made this one up, but it's 3,500 words long. That's the longest I've got on this site, so that I can put ad placeholders the whole way down this blog post, and that means it's going to fill out for all of the other ones, because all the other ones are shorter, so it'll be able to, there won't be any other blog posts that you get halfway down and then all of a sudden ads disappear. Now let's jump over quickly to the Ezoic dashboard, and I'll show you how I am going to set up my ads. Okay, so I'm over on my Ezoic dashboard. Something that I really should say right now is Josh Coop from Pro Blogger Income has really helped me out with my ad placements, and I know he helps a lot of people out in our community. This video is not going to go in depth like his is on how to do ad placeholders. I'm going to leave a link to Josh's video underneath. If you want to get an in-depth guide on how to do ad placeholders, I strongly recommend his video. But here, a couple of things that Josh has taught me. I'm going to go into the monetization tab, and I'm going to go to my ad tester and click turn on or off settings. Here you'll be able to see a couple of different types of ads that you can turn on, and I turn all of them on. So as a default, it doesn't have several of these on. I'm going to turn on in-image ads, vignette ads, interstitial video ads, and beta ad formats, so that Google can try out all types of ads that they can try out. And then I'm going to click save. And that's updated. Time for me to insert the ads. Now, when you want to insert the ads, what you're going to want to do is use the ad tester, ad placeholder. It's a Google Chrome extension. I'll find out what it's exactly called. It's called the Ezoic ad tester. So once you install that extension, make sure that you can use it on incognito mode. So if we go to our extensions list, manage our extensions, and then scroll down to allow incognito. Make sure it's turned on. The reason that we want to use this extension in incognito mode is it needs to make sure that you're logged out. And even sometimes when I'm logged out of my website, Ezoic thinks that I'm logged in. So you're better off just doing it in incognito mode in a Chrome browser. Once you've got the Ezoic ad tester activated on Google Chrome in incognito mode, you can click on it and click activate placeholders. It'll take a little while for the placeholders to appear. Make sure when you click create, you can choose your placeholder type and size. I recommend automatically detect for all of your placeholders and then click select location. Okay, and then it'll load and it should show you where all of your placeholders are. There we go. It took a minute to load, but we've got our top of page one and we've got all of our in page ones. I've already placed these ones in, but I'll show you how to place one. Just find a spot where you want to stick an add placeholder, click on it, and you can have it above or below the chosen paragraph. Click insert here. And where on the page is the placeholder? Now, you want to have one placeholder for the top of page, under the page title, under the first and under the second paragraph. And then after that, you're going to want to create in content placeholders. So you just go down, the first in content placeholder is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. And I'll show you. So say this is going to be in content 3, click in content 3 and click save placeholder and the placeholder will appear. I'm not going to do that though because I've already placed them. You can see here I've got my top of page 1, there, my under page title one right here, under the first paragraph, under the second paragraph. Now that doesn't mean that these ads are going to appear on every single load, every single time someone loads the site. It just means that it's an option for Ezoic to place the ads there. So even though it may look really cluttered right now with a lot of placeholders, Google's going to choose for me which placeholders are the best ones to use. Once you've done your under first and second paragraph, for your in content ones, I try to place them once every 3 paragraphs or so. So you can see there's 3 paragraphs gap between these 2 placeholders. And as you go down, there's a small gap between each of the placeholders. Again, remembering, even though it looks cluttered, they're not all going to appear for every user. Ezoic's going to choose which is the best to make you the most money. So just give it as many chances as possible for placeholders. The other placeholder type that you want to include is what we call native placeholders. So a native placeholder, I'll try to put a screenshot up right now of what they look like. So basically that's what a native placeholder is. A lot of people activate native placeholders in Ezoic and then they don't realize, they're like, how do I turn these on? Why can't I see them? I'll jump over to Ezoic and show you where to activate them. So when you're in monetization, scroll down. And there's this one called native ad units, just turn it on. And then when you want to place one, you can just click create. You're going to want to create a native placeholder. So instead of automatically detect, we've got this native placeholder here, native ads, native horizontal or vertical. So horizontal, like this one here, it goes across the screen, and then there's vertical that go up and down. So I just choose native horizontal. So I'll choose a place to place it. I think I left a gap between in contents 8 and 9. Yeah, I left a bit of a gap here for the middle one. So insert, select page position, mid content, save placeholder. And now I'm going to have those native ads appear. Now these cogs where it says this is going to take a few minutes, essentially what Ezoic's doing right now is it's placing this native placeholder in between in content 8 and 9 on every single one of my blog posts. So it takes it a little while to do that. Okay, so once you've got your in-content, all of your in-content placeholders placed and any native placeholders you want, so I have a native one in the middle and the bottom of the page, the only other one you're going to want is, of course, the sidebar ads, which make you good money. So for the sidebar ones, you can just click automatically detect. And then just above your widget on the sidebar, you can place one, click insert here. And then in the drop down, there should be sidebar top, middle, bottom, and floating. So I'm going to do sidebar top. All right, you can see that one's loaded at the top there of the sidebar. And then I'm going to stick a middle one in. Okay, and then lastly, my bottom one. Make sure it's at the bottom there. All right, so you can see here I've got the 3 sidebar ads. You can also create a floating sidebar. So if I jump this one right to the bottom, so a floating sidebar ad, it follows the user down, so it's always visible. Again, this is probably the one of the biggest income sidebar ads that you can get. So sidebar floating, okay, and then save placeholder. So that's a lot of placeholders. On that page, I've probably got close to 40. Obviously, there's not going to be 40 ads showing for every user, but it gives as many opportunities for Ezoic's AI as possible to find the ideal places to put ads to give you the maximum revenue that you can get. So right now I'm going to turn off the placeholders so I can see the ads. So once I click deactivate here, the ads are loading. I currently haven't got Site Speed Accelerator installed, so it may take a second. There we go. Try Facebook Games up there as the top one. Scotiabank ads. So you can see there's a few ads around. And as Ezoic sort of does its thing, it'll start inserting ads. So it can find the best ad placements for every single user and make you as much money as possible. Now I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about this blog post and how I write my blog post with my what we call listicles, where we just have 11 best things. So I'll do another video on how I write my blog post. This was just about how to insert the placeholders and make sure that there's a template that you can follow so that the placeholders are inserted perfectly for every single post. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that was useful for anyone who's considering using Ezoic. I do actually have an Ezoic affiliate link in the description as well. So if you want to start going with Ezoic, I'd appreciate if you use the Ezoic affiliate link down below so that I can make money from Ezoic. And if you've got any questions, as always, you can ask them underneath.